So we're going to look at a simple interest formula here. So they've probably given you guys two, like we said. I equals PRT, and then A equals P plus I, which means this formula here refers back to the original formula. So you kind of need to know both of them. This one formula will do everything that the other two do with having them memorized less. So let's talk about this. This uppercase I is the amount of interest earned in an account. So they tell you that it's P, so which is usually known as the principal, times the interest rate times the amount of time. Okay. The A stands for the future value amount, or the amount you'll earn. And the amount you earn is the principal, so the amount you originally put in, plus all of the interest you earn, which kind of makes sense in terms of putting money in a bank. You put in what you have, and then you earn some interest on it, and then you got it. Most banks use something called compound interest, not simple interest.
Yeah.
Okay. So our formula here, it's just what we've done here, I'll show you, is we've replaced I with PRT, and then we common factored out P, so you get P1 plus RT, and that's what this is down here. Okay, so it is this formula with everything involved in it. So let's attempt a question. So Ethan has $500 to put in a simple interest account. The type of account, especially if you're going on a test, because they'll probably talk about compound and simple interest, be aware what type of account they are talking about, because they are different formulas. He's putting $500 in. The account earns 3% interest per year. That's also important how often the interest is earned. And then he wants to invest for 42 months. So we're looking for the amount in the end. Okay, so let's rewrite this formula here. A is equal to P1 plus RT. Okay, so the principal is what he originally starts as. So what does he originally have in this question?
500.
500, yeah. So 500 is going to be our A. Well, not our A. What am I talking about? It's going to be our P value. That's what he starts with. What is going to be the interest rate?
0.03.
Yeah, that's right. We turn that into a decimal, so you get 0.03, and that is per year, which is important for what we're about to do. Okay. How long are they investing for?
3.5 years.
Yes, good. So it's 42 months, which is 3.5 years. So because the interest rate is per year, we have to make sure we're in that unit. Okay. So because they give you the date in months, we have to convert months to years. So like you said, it's 3.5 months. So our T value would be 3.5. Okay. From here, it's pretty straightforward. We just plug the things in. So A is equal to 500 times 1 plus the interest rate, which is 0.03, times time, which is 3.5. And you just kind of follow bedfast to do this. And we could probably do this all on our calculator very quickly. Let's do 3.5 times 0.03. Okay, and that value plus 1, that's in the brackets. And then we're going to multiply that value times 500. So our final amount is $552.50. So $552.50. Now, that shows you the future value. Many questions will ask you how much interest earned. Okay. Now, let's write it in. This formula technically does it for you, and you can plug things in. But if you're able to find out the final value and you know how much they started, are you able to calculate how much interest this person earned? Mm-hmm. What would you do with these two values?
Subtract 500.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever they have in the end is that 552.50. Okay, and they originally started with 500. Okay, and that means they earned $52.50 over the course of 42 months. Okay, let's say we're doing pretty good here. Or two questions to this. Same guy, Ethan, would like to have $1,000, but 90 months from now. He's still earning 3% per year, but they want to know how much he should invest today. So when we're looking at that formula we had before, that E or A equals P1 plus RT. Okay, what they've given you here is the future amount. So they've told you they want to have $1,000 down the road. That's our A value, that $1,000. The interest rate is still 3%, which is 0.03. That's going to be our interest rate. And time is measured in months again, so we're going to have to do some converting. And this one's not going to come out so nice, I don't think. So let's do a little converting. We know that the R, the interest rate, is going to be 0.03. Time blue here. Time is going to be 90 months. So to convert months to years, you would divide by 12, right? 12 months divided by 12 would equal 1 year. So you do 90 divided by 12. And let's see, divide 12. Came out to a really nice number, which is the opposite of what I wanted to happen. I should have been a better estimator. Let's go 91. Okay? 91 months, let's say. Just so we get a value that's not so nice. 91 divide 12. There we go. So we have a repeating decimal, which means this actually goes on forever. So it'll actually be much more accurate if we work with the fraction for time rather than putting in the decimal. You can put in the decimal, you'll be off like maybe a cent, maybe a half cent, which probably won't make a big difference. But if you want to be extremely accurate, we'll just work with the fraction instead. So in this one, the only thing that's left that we don't know is the present value. They've asked us how much should he invest today for that to happen. So we have to isolate for P. So we don't need a different formula or anything. We just plug these values in, isolate for P. So 1,000 goes in for the amount is equal to P is unknown. 1 plus our R here is 0.03 times 91 over 12. Now, it completely depends what you want to do. You could try multiplying this decimal by its fraction. It'll probably give you another repeating number. I can convert this decimal to a fraction. 3% as a fraction is actually 3 over 100. Okay, so I'm going to put that in place so that we're working with fractions in this question instead.
All right.
Okay, just do whatever you're best with. So when we work with fractions, we'll technically be extremely accurate as we go through. So we have 1,000 is equal to P. 1 plus, this is going to be over 1,200, and 91, so it would be 273 over 1,200. Okay, I can convert this 1 to 1,200 over 1,200. So now that we have common denominators. Okay, so I'm just focusing on the fractions again. Again, you could make a decimal. You're probably very, very accurate as you go through. All going to be over 1,200. And this is going to be 1,473 over 1,200. Okay, and then we got to isolate for P. So we have to divide by this amount. When we move it over, you would take 1,000 divided by that. To show you what that would look like, it'd be 1,000. I'm going to write it sideways just because when we divide fractions, we're used to actually inverting and multiplying. So it's divided by 1,473 over 1,200 is equal to P. So I'm not going to use any calculators till the very, very end. When you divide fractions, you can turn this into a fraction by putting it over 1. You would have 1,000 over 1 times, and you invert the second part, 1,200 over 1,473 equals P. And this is probably the hard way, probably better to work with our decimals, but this will become 1,200,000. So 1,200,000 over 1,473. So this will give you the most accurate answer possible for this. Let's take a look. 1,200,000 divide 1,473. $814.66. So 814.66 is the amount that he needs to invest now in order to have $1,000 91 months from now. Okay.